This is President Trump. Smash the like button if you think that Pentagon Jr. will thrive down in NXT.
So how would I book Pentagon Jr. in NXT? Will he be mid-card or main event? I would make him a main eventer. You gotta make him a main event guy until Rey Fenix joins him in NXT. Or Triple H can do this. Have Pentagon Jr. spend maybe 4 months down in NXT and then call him up to SmackDown and then bring in Rey Fenix. Just imagine the reaction if Pentagon Jr. gets called up and then Rey Fenix, he makes his main roster debut on SmackDown with his brother. That is great booking. Do I think that Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. were booked like shit in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling? Hell yes. Man, those guys were stars when they were in TNA. They were supposed to be 1A to the Young Bucks 1B. They were supposed to be the two top tag teams in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. I feel like the Young Bucks, they lied to the entire world of fake pro wrestling. Y'all said that tag team wrestling drew money. You said that tag team wrestling should be in the main event. You broke your promise. You broke your promise to LAX. You broke your promise to Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. Y'all don't give two shits about the tag team division. Just ask FTR. Those guys are whining crybabies on social media, and now they are mid-card guys without CM Junk. Ever since CM Junk left for the World Wrestling Federation, FTR are jobbers. They are low-tier mid-carders on Collision. For example, the Acclaimed are jobbers now. What happened to the goddamn Gun Club? You are wasting tag team fake pro wrestling in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. For example, look at Max Caster and Bowens. Those guys used to be stars. Now they are jobbers. Literally, they are jobbers who don't win any matches. Look at the motherfucking Gun Club. They should be in NXT. But yet, they are wasted. The Gun Club had one good year in this company, and that was under the CM Junk era. All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling, it started because Vince McMahon gave two shits about tag team fake pro wrestling. So the Bucks, they wanted to change that. So they made All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. They thought that tag team wrestling drew money. They wanted to prove to the world that tag team wrestling can be in the main event. That did not age well, now did it? Look at the tag team division in 2024 in this company. Nobody cares about tag team fake pro wrestling in this company. I don't care what anybody else says. Vince McMahon knew what the fuck he was talking about. FTR, they were crying because Vince McMahon told them that tag team fake pro wrestling don't draw in the main event. Was he wrong? No. Because where is FTR in this company? Nobody cares about FTR unless they are fighting the Young Bucks. Those guys are relevant until they are fighting the Young Bucks. And that is facts on motherfucking facts. I made this prediction. I said that All Elite Wrestling, they need Vince McMahon back. They need Vince McMahon to run the World Wrestling Federation once again. That's the only reason Con Man got over. Because the Smarks, they felt like he was better than Vince McMahon at the time. They felt like Vince McMahon, he was so bad at his job, it made Con Man look good by comparison. Now that Vince McMahon is gone, we got Triple H, who is the first Tony Khan man. Yes, that is a fact. Triple H was the first Tony Khan. Because at first, it was Vince McMahon versus Triple H in the black and gold NXT. People felt like, man, why can't Vince McMahon run the main roster like Triple H does on the black and gold brand? Now, years later, Triple H is now in charge. Now, people view Con Man like he's Vince McMahon. That's what I predicted would happen 2 years ago. Was I wrong? Nope. It is so satisfying that ever since Vince McMahon has stepped down from the World Wrestling Federation, that the IWC has turned on Tony Khan Man ever since, like I predicted would happen. I will compare this to Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. 4 years ago, I said that people was going to regret voting for Joe Biden. You did it to spite Donald Trump. And now you look stupid. Joe Biden is the worst president of all time, next to George W. Bush. And yes, bitch, you did steal the election. On what planet would Joe Biden have more total votes than President Barack Obama? Are you crazy? So by your logic, do you think Biden was better or is better than Obama? No. Do you believe that Biden is more popular than Obama? That's why you stole the election. You can't make that make sense. On what planet is Biden better than a prime Barack Obama? 4 years ago, you marks, you thought Tony Khan Man was better than Vince McMahon. I can't believe this guy won Booker of the Year. Do you think that Khan Man will ever win Booker of the Year ever again? It was because those were spiteful votes, just like how Donald Trump lost. Those were spiteful votes. You people were cheerleading Con Man just to spite Vince McMahon, and you paid for it. Because all elite fake pro wrestling is dying every week. Because you was never that good in the first place. Because at that point in time, hell, anybody could have ran against Donald Trump and would have won based on spiteful voting. Let's compare that to Vince McMahon and Con Man. Anybody can look better as a booker compared to Vince McMahon in that era based on public opinion. That's all it was. It was public opinion. It was not based on facts. Because hell, I don't think Con Man was ever better than Vince McMahon as a booker. Case in point, this year, the last 2 years, he has been exposed ever since Triple H became the boss. Back in 2019, people thought that All Elite Wrestling was booking the tag team division great. But you was not. It was just Vince McMahon did not care about tag team wrestling. So it made you look good by comparison. But years later, no, you was never that good in the tag team division. It was just Vince McMahon gave 2 shits about tag team wrestling. But now that Triple H is the boss of the company, he pushes tag team wrestling. And Con Man don't give 2 shits about tag team wrestling. He never did. It's just Vince gave 2 shits. But Triple H, he cares about tag team wrestling. So it makes Con Man look incompetent by comparison. But Tony Khan Man was always bad at booking tag team fake pro wrestling. And I'm glad he is now being exposed for it. Here is what I think. I think that Pentagon Jr. will be in NXT for maybe 4 months without Rey Fenix. But after those 4 months, I think Triple H will draft him on the main roster. But I think Rey Fenix will make his SmackDown debut. I think Rey will skip NXT. And he will be called up straight to the main roster.